Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the Alter Ego Report. I'm John Griffin.
I'm Lynn.
Today we get to talk about War for the Planet of the Apes, one of my most anticipated movie of the year. This is the third movie in the Planet of the Apes prequel movies, and it stars, once again, Andy Serkis, and it also stars Woody Harrelson, one of my all-time favorite actors. It's directed, once again, by Matt Reeves, and this movie focuses on a older, slightly wiser Caesar, as he continues to, maintain his ape kingdom out in the woods. Humans can't leave well enough alone. They always have to come looking for trouble. And he's once again drawn back into an all-out conflict with Woody Harrelson and the small subset of soldiers that the virus still hasn't wiped out yet. The virus, however, is mutated, causing another issue for Woody Harrelson and his soldiers. But this movie is a lot different than I thought it was going to be, and in a good way.
Yes.
The commercials saw a lot of tanks, a lot of rockets and explosions, but this is a much more personal, heartfelt story, which Reeves he did it in the last movie, and he once again did it in this movie. This is a deeply personal story, very small scale. Mm-hmm. The title is deceiving as well. It's not an all-out war.
No.
It's more of internal conflict than anything else. And then it kind of turns into like a prisoner of war movie. And it's just a lot different than I thought it was going to be, but in a great, great way.
Yeah. The trailers made you think it was this big battle, a big war. The entire movie was going to be this fight. But with guns and machinery and things like that, but
yeah, which we got in the last movie, but it's not really.
No, it's like John Griffin said. It's more of a personal struggle, and the conflict between Woody Harrelson and Caesar is. Do you really see them two really going at it much? You don't really get a big fight between.
No, you don't get one at all
between them.
It's just back and forth as they talk and. That's what I loved about this movie. It's deliberate. This whole series is kind of it's deliberately paced. Some people would call it slow. I don't call it slow. I call it deliberately paced. It knows what it wants to do. It knows what it wants to say and how it wants to go about achieving it. There may be portions, maybe in the second act, where it kind of got away from its central conflict for just a tad too long. Maybe not more than a few minutes, but. It was enough for me to notice, like when they first met Bad Ape, and they were in his kind of home talking a little bit, maybe just a little bit, but that was about it. Once again, we got to talk Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis was so amazing. I mean, to consider the fact that he has all these dots on his face and
like cameras, like there's these little tiny cameras hanging on in front of his eyes.
Yeah, and for him to be able to pull off the emotion that he does. You can feel everything that Caesar is going through.
It is stunning, and I'm tired of saying it, but somebody give this dude an Oscar.
Yeah, it's completely...
It's ridiculous.
I mean, everybody talks about how great he is. Yes, he's so great. But every time he's so great, you kind of have to talk about it.
Yeah.
He's great.
He keeps getting better at it, too. That's why he has his own school. I don't know if you know this. Mm-hmm. He has his own school where he teaches actors who you'll never know their names.
Yeah.
Just motion capture stuff. Now, Woody Harrelson's character, I thought was okay. I really like Woody Harrelson as an actor, and there's nothing in his performance that rubbed me the wrong way or anything. It's just that I didn't care for the fact that his bad guy was a bad guy because he's a bad guy. The other villains of the past movies, especially Gary Oldman in the second movie, was much more of an everyman, relatable guy. He was trying to do what was best for his community, his town. He lost a son. Now, Woody Harrelson's character, you could kind of say does the same thing, but the way he goes about it, there's no real redeeming qualities for him. So I'll take a little bit off the movie just because I didn't love his character. Not his performance, just the character.
Right, and I can understand what you're saying with that, but you have to consider the fact that they're 15 years down the road into this virus and what it's done to the human race and how that has eaten at him. And then this mutation, what that further does to this man's psyche. I mean, he's broken. This man is broken.
Yeah, so I guess I get that.
I mean,
I get that. So he's just a shell of a human at this point.
Yeah, he's lucky he's not even more of a crazy person.
All right, I think I can get it.
And his end goal is still to save the human race, as well as he believes he can save humanity.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, no, he's not a great character at all. He's really a douchebag. You know, can I say that?
It's YouTube, I mean.
He's awful. But I can see where his character would stem from.
Okay, I get that. Let's go back 1 second to the special effects.
Mm-hmm.
Which we went back and rewatched the other movies before this. And
you're like, I thought that was good.
The first movie, I still think holds up fine, but you can tell like that the CGI is good, but
it's
not great. There are moments where those apes look kind of two-dimensional, a little flat. The second movie did a much better job. This movie, perfect. It is
phenomenal.
The fact that this is even possible amazes me. Mm-hmm. This is flawless special effects and CGI. There's not a weak point in this movie.
No.
Not one. That combined with the very, very well framed shot, the cinematography, the score, everything is nice and subtle. So the special effects you don't even know you're watching things that aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
It's outstanding, and I can't wait. I hope they make more of these movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This does have nice tentacles and tie-ins to the original movie. We're kind of catching up to that time frame, but there are things that still need to be answered. I feel
like they need one more.
I feel like they need one more, and I heard that they're not done. So I would love to see another one of these.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, we can't say too much without giving the movie away.
We can't.
So
yeah, to talk about those tentacles would be
we'll end it there.
Quite spoilery.
We're hoping there's another one.
We'll talk about that. I want to talk about one more thing before we wrap this up. I knew Steve Zahn was going to be playing a character called Bad Ape. Now, for some reason, this franchise has never kind of gone into the comedic relief. It's been a sad series of movies. I mean, these movies are heavy. And for some reason, I just thought, well, Steve Zahn's going to be this character. I don't know why I doubted that Steve Zahn was going to come in and pull off some comedic relief, because he is funny. I loved Bad Ape. I loved his face. I loved the way he talked, because it's just Steve Zahn talking. And I loved Bad Ape.
I thought he was funny.
I'm glad they decided to throw it's not in your face comedic relief. It's just enough to lighten the mood a little bit. And then it gets down into sadness and monkey ape torture, and
he's just like that oddball person, you know, like if we're dealing with people, he's just that, you know, side character that you're like, what?
Which is they've never had that character in these movies yet, so I think it was a smart move by Matt Reeves.
He was very welcome.
So Steve Zahn really just gave me a little bit of levity that I was looking for, and I really enjoyed his character.
Yeah, I thought his timing was perfect.
So once again, we just want to wrap everything up by saying we loved this movie. Mm-hmm. Expertly directed by Matt Reeves.
Yep.
Very well paced. Extremely well shot. Great cinematography. Amazing performances once again by Andy Serkis. Woody Harrelson's also good, and I love Steve Zahn. I can't say enough about this movie. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close to masterful filmmaking. So I'm going to give War for the Planet of the Apes a 9.5 out of 10. I love this movie.
I'm actually going to give it the same score. I hesitate because I kind of want to give it a 10. Just
Close.
Because I didn't have that same issue you did. I didn't think when they first met Bad Ape or anything, I didn't think that dragged on in any way at all. When I was sitting there watching it, there wasn't any part of it at all that I said, oh, they could have done this, they could have done that. I enjoyed the entire thing. So why am I not giving it a 10? I give it a 10. There wasn't anything I thought was wrong with it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It wasn't the war movie I was expecting, but that's okay too.
So you're okay with that?
Maybe just that. It was a little bit of a misleading trailer, but is it?
That doesn't really count against the movie that you watched, though.
All right, I give it a 10.
10, 9.5. Thanks for watching our review of War for the Planet of the Apes. Don't forget to like, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment.
And if you want to see more in-depth reviews, go ahead and head over to our website, alteregoreport.com.
Thanks.